Your logline is the most important sentence you will ever write. It's the first sentence that anybody will read from you. And whether they read a second sentence is dependent on how this first sentence reads. And it's not easy. Welcome to the Scriptfella Replay. This is a recording taken from a free live class that I give from time to time to my email subscribers. Let's get stuck in. Okay, Joshua, have you been a copywriter at all? Did I make that up? You have. Because I think I can see some copywriting here. Let's have a look at this. First of all, title, Jingle Spells. Fantastic. It's intended for a Netflix Christmas type film. This is perfect. A Christmas obsessed alpha mum believes she's hit the jackpot when she finds a magic wand that lets her every selfish Christmas wish be granted. I think this is delicious. I can see it. I can see them marketing it. I can see it on next year on Netflix, based on the logline. Let's see what the execution looks like. It lets her every selfish wish be granted. I think that can grant her every selfish Christmas wish. I'm thinking about that, but I'd put it in the comments. Let's road A/B test for Joshua here. Which version of this reads less bumpy? So I think that this, if I'm in the business of making Netflix Christmas movies, and it's a great little niche, and you say, yeah, what's it called? Jingle Spells. I'm in. What about the execution? So our first line in our screenplay is our business card as writers. A Christmas market at night. Tinsel stalls. Covers tied down. A bunch of fat red bauble balloons tug and fret in the cold breeze which taunts them with flecks of snow. The ribbon on one balloon unravels with each tag or tug until it wriggles free of its brothers, jerking free and up into the frosty winter sky. It ascends fast through swirls of snow, gusty squalls until the pinprick stars emerge clear as needle points in the curtain of night. The balloon seems to hang in the air. The radiant full moon lights the majestic curve of the earth until, whoosh, a small sleigh, sporting a log-topped prison cell and red and blue flashing lights, barrel rolls past, sending the disoriented balloon spinning out of frame. Its siren wails, Santa, Santa. Neon sparks emit crazily from a magic wand that a hooded groggy-like figure and an elf in a police cap struggle over. The sleigh abruptly banks up and the siren fades. Silence. Then, whee! Plunging past and falling fast. A base-jumping grimp. A base-jumping grimp? Big eyes, green fur, brown claws, a cute furry enemy of everything good about Christmas, and it's carrying the sparking wand. Its big ears unfold in the wind, pulling it back upwards. Unfortunately, the wind really blows, and the magic wand is ripped away, spinning into the darkness. The grimp cartwheels in the jet streams and falls. The wand impacts into a deep pile of snow slush at the side of a road. It sparks briefly red, then goes out. Blue smoke gently wisping from the top star. So what an opening this is. Is it friction-free? I think there's a couple of places where it could be smoother. Let's talk about the budget. If you think as every word is $1, how many dollars are we going to spend on this before we get to the sugar cube, which is this? I think the imagery, a Christmas market at night, that's a really clear overall wide shot. And my head is doing a lot of the work. I'm seeing all of this. Stalls, covers tied down. I had to think, what does that mean? It's closed? And then we've got bauble balloons. They tug and fret in the cold breeze, which taunts them with flecks of snow. I'm not seeing the frame. If you say bauble balloons tug and fret in the cold breeze, the ribbon on one balloon unravels with each tug, I guess. You don't generally need to time things. I talked about the as disease, where we're saying one thing's happening at the same time as something else. There's another one, the until disease. I do this until I do this. Or I pick my nose until I fire my weapon. Much better, Scriptfella picks his nose, fires his weapon. Just right in sequence, I would suggest. So we don't need the until. We've got a close proximity warning. We've used the word free twice next to each other. Oh my goodness, I'm getting tweaked here. What is a close proximity warning? It's when you use the same word in close proximity again. So do we need to upgrade that language? This is pernickety. I just think this is all good, but what is actually happening here? Christmas market, tinsel stalls. You might be able to start with the wind blows, wind howls through a shuttered Christmas market. I'm not saying write this. This is not me rewriting you, but perhaps start with the wind. The wind will lead us through there and then tug and assault these balloons as you've got it. And one of them jerks free and goes up. Wonderful. Now, do we need the balloon seems to hang in the air? Probably not. There's the until. So it does this until this. A small sleigh. Why a small one as opposed to a big one? Do we need that adjective? And here is the one massive bump I had. This is an extraordinary image. And it's enclosed with a couple of hyphens. So a small sleigh, hold that in. I don't know what the small sleigh is doing yet. And then this is what type of sleigh it is. It's log-topped. What's a log-topped? Prison cell in red. I can't see it. It's awesome, I think. Try and keep your nouns close to your verbs. A sleigh barrel rolls past. Somehow find a way to curate this because it's an incredible image. But it's sort of sandwiched between all this scene geography and movement. And at this point, my projector as a reader I'm just overloaded here. If you're enjoying this class, I've got a Scooby sense that you're going to absolutely love my free 50-minute masterclass. 7 mistakes stopping you getting an agent. It's essentially a taster class for my paid program, the Scriptfella program, but there are a ton of valuable, actionable techniques that you can take away today. So click on the link and get stuck in. And now we are going to plunge back in to the live dive. Love the world building here. And then here, again, this is something, there are so many images here. Neon sparks emit crazily from a magic wand that a hooded groggy-like figure and an elf in a police cap struggle over. So I've got to read that sentence. And it's only when I get to the end of the sentence that I can understand what the image is. So this is just a little takeaway. The mind of the reader can only see what you see in the order that you give it to them. And if you want to engage them, you generally want them to see the frames one by one, rather than read a sentence, understand it, and then reverse engineer it into an image. And the reason why I can't see this is the noun. You've got neon sparks as the first noun, and a magic wand is the second noun. The magic wand is the movie. It's a character. It needs its own introduction. At the moment, we've got neon sparks from a magic wand, which, by the way, a groggy-like figure is awesome. An elf in a police cap is awesome. But the noun, they're struggling over the wand. So I think this needs to be completely rewritten. It's awesome, but it's not awesome for the reader. It's a sort of 6 out of 10 where I think it's going to be great, but I'm not feeling it. Generally, you can ditch every single adverb that you've got, or most of them. It's not illegal to use adverbs, but I'm with Stephen King on this, that the road to hell is paved with adverbs. The sleigh banks and the siren fades. Grimp G1, I mean, what a character's name that is. Then, you could say then, I mean, that's like you're timing it, but who's plunging past? This is what I call is the clause opening. When you're reading this, what are you saying? Then, plunging past and falling fast. At that point in the sentence, I have no idea what I'm seeing because the noun has not arrived. The noun is awesome. The noun is a base jumping grimp, for goodness sake. How cool is that? You know, what can you see if you say a base jumping grimp plunges past? And you don't need and falling fast, probably a comma. Big eyes, green fur, brown claws. And then here is the voice. A cute, furry enemy of everything good about Christmas. And then this bit, and it is. So that's a typo. If it is, it's apostrophe S. If it's possessive, it's its. Its big ears unfurl. I think you call it again. What's it called? It's called a grimp. So the grimp's big ears unfurl, pulling it back upwards. Unfortunately, the wind really blows. Great voice. This is storytelling. Magic wand is ripped away, spinning into the darkness. Cartwheels in the jet stream and falls, and the wand impacts into a deep pile of snow slush. And then at the end, we get at the side of a road. Don't rely on slug lines, I would suggest, to deliver visuals. I can't see the Budfield shopping street from a slug line. And the faster your script reads and the better your script is, the more likely the reader is to skip, the instruction manual slug lines. So a deep pile of slush. I think I need to know where we are. We're in the Budfield shopping street. And I just love this. It's sparse, brightly red, then goes out. Okay, goes out. You could say it goes out. It could snap out. It could blink out. Blue smoke, get rid of the gently, wisping from the top star. I mean, it's fantastic, but it's not optimized for the reader. But when it is, it's going to be awesome. Plunging from the sky, another clause opening where we haven't got a noun. You say the grimp plunges from the sky, hits its head on the top of a giant Santa-type figure dressed in Confederate clothing with a sack on his back. So there's only so much my mind can take in. And every little description, I'm having to reassess what the frame is. I can see the grimp plunges from the sky and hits its head on a giant Santa figure or a Santa statue or a Santa something or other. But dressed in Confederate clothing with a sack on his back, I've got to see him plunge. I've got to see him hit his head. I've got to see a Santa figure, which, by the way, has Confederate clothing and a sack on his back. So my projector is short-circuiting as a reader. It's like, too much, overload. Your words are like Morse code. It's dit, short, long. It's data. And what we do here, if we're writing cinematically, is we give the reader data, and that data turns into pictures and sounds. And you need to not give too much data to the reader at once, or they won't be able to keep up with all of this stuff coming in. Ho, 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 all the way. Now, I really want to look at this character intro, because this is it's a wake-up scene. Does it defy my rule of generally wake-up scenes or toast breakfast scenes are flat and boring? Peeking through Santa red curtains, a modernistic yet bohemian chic bedroom, wooden double bed, a man and a woman sleep. Ho, 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 all the way. The electronic alarm clock screen flashes, silver bells ringing. Estelle Wilson, eyes flick wide open. She smiles a beatific, yet mildly manic smile. It's Christmas Eve. She turns to a sleeping husband, whose eye mask has 8-bit pixel eyes on it. Nathan, wake up. There's so much to do. She bounds out of bed, dons a black with baubles dressing gown, and disappears. Kids, time to get up. I think this is a great character introduction. She's absolutely Christmas mad. She's the perfect character to give this magic wand to. Peeking through Santa red curtains, probably as a comma, a modernistic yet bohemian chic bedroom, wooden double bed. It took me a while to see that. A man and a woman come up with a better collective noun than a man and a woman. It might be a married couple. And we don't need it to echoes. We don't need it to voiceover. It's not a voiceover. A voiceover is Goodfellas.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Silver bells and ringing. There's probably her eyes flick wide open. Mildly manic. Just with that, I understand that she's absolutely obsessed with Christmas. And this sort of thing, it's a bit like, here comes Johnny, Christmas Eve. She turns to a sleeping husband, who's, I think that's a typo, has 8-bit pixels. Nathan, wake up, so much to do. Kids, time to get up. So awesome across the board. All of these scripts have got something, but you are thinking cinematically. You're thinking visually. You've got a fantastic logline. This is a movie. If you can keep it going for 90 odd pages, it doesn't need to be 120 pages. When you have a whopping great big premise like this, it buys you so much latitude. Loglines have to have, ideally, what my copywriting friend actually talked about for clients. He said they've got to have a handle where if you're in advertising and you're pitching an idea to a client, you give them the idea and the client can take the idea because it's got a handle and it's really easy to give it to somebody else. And a lot of loglines feel written. You'd never be able to repeat them because they're not portable. They're not shareable. And I think that this logline is incredibly shareable. And the title is lifting 50% of it. So thank you for sharing, Joshua. Absolutely awesome.